How are you feeling? How long have you been here?
3 months, May 17th.
And what brought you?
That's difficult to answer.
I'm not clear. How is it that playing the piano for people has eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital?
That's difficult to answer.
this the end? There's a noise inside my head of crying people facing death. Is this the end? Is this the end? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. This is the final time. What have we done to the world? What have we done to the world? I'm burning in the stone. There's no place to hide. I'm burning in the stone. This is the final
What's up, everyone? What's up? What's up? What's up? Hey, we made it to episode 420. I am definitely not high on the internet right now, just so people know. Even though it's episode 420, I would never get high on the internet. It would never happen. There would be no reason for that. I just want everyone to know that, even though it's episode 420. But if you were going to get high, honestly, it would be a pretty great day to get high, actually, because we're going to be watching amaze.org videos. Trendlin has been bugging me about this. Trendlin keeps sending me money and trying to get me to watch things I don't want to watch. And now that we have forever broken up with Andrew Wilson, Trendlin can't even get me to watch the Whatever podcast anymore because now we've broken up with Andrew Wilson because Andrew Wilson was kind of a jackass. And so we don't want to do that anymore. But, you know, Trendlin did make a good point a couple weeks ago. She said, can we do an updated amaze.org video watch? And I said, yeah, Trendlin, we're going to do that at some point. And then, just magically, you know, it's episode 420. We're going to be doing Tucker Carlson interviewing Daryl Cooper tomorrow. So it is episode 420. So I was like, you know what? There is no better thing to watch for episode 420 than amaze.org videos. And if you've never watched amaze.org videos, this is a real thing. These are sex ed videos that are made for elementary and middle school kids. It is a giant nonprofit. It is funded, obviously, by the left. And they make such great videos, such as 6 ways to not get pregnant. 2 moms, but how? Swimming on my period. What is a panic attack? Friendship red flags. Sex with HIV. Let's see. Rejection. That's actually kind of, you know, some of these videos are not that bad. You have to admit, some of these videos are not that bad. You know, kids need videos too. Would you use this birth control? Sexual decision making. They've got all sorts of great videos. What is pre-cum? What is fucking pre-cum? Are you shitting me? How do I use a tampon? Boxers and boaters. I'm just saying that it is episode 420. And so, oh, check this out too. The timing of this, it feels like the timing of this is a twist of fate because look at the second most recent upload amaze.org has. Amaze Penguin song sped up. they made a nighttime version, apparently, of their famous Penguin song. They did a remix of the fucking Penguin song, and it was only uploaded a couple weeks ago. And so, you know what? It's fate. Trendlin was right. I was wrong. Trendlin kept annoying me and saying, "Can we do this? Can we do this? Can we do this?" And then she kept sending me money. And it doesn't. It's not enough to just annoy me. But if you also send me money, then I'm like, then I feel indebted to you. And I'm like, God damn it, Trendlin. Yes, we can watch fucking amaze.org videos, and it's gonna be fine, and it's gonna be great, and it's actually gonna work out great. And oh, by some twist of fate, they have done a remixed Penguin video. So that's what we're going to do today. Except that while people are filing in, I have an order of business. I have to talk about this. I went back and forth on whether or not to even talk about this. I really did. Last night I was like, nah, we're just going to let that lie. And then, of course, as I do, I thought about it and thought about it and thought about it. And I was just like, no, I have to. I fucking have to. I have to. I can't help myself. I'm an Aries. I'm an instigator. I have to talk about this. I cannot keep my big mouth shut. I have to talk about this. Okay? And we're going to see how long it takes him to figure out I'm doing this. So last night, I had a great Twitter space with Amalek. We talked for like 2 hours all about how Christianity is a Jewish psyop and his path and his thought process. And, he argued with me a little bit on if Jesus was a real person. It was a really nice conversation. It was like two adults talking on the internet. Who would have ever thought? Who would have ever thought that two adults could just talk on the internet about topics that they find interesting without drama or yelling or nonsense or any of these things? It was a nice Twitter space. You got to hear a diverse set of opinions. You can decide for yourself what you think. I hope people really enjoyed it. So as soon as I get done with this Twitter space last night, I'm DMing with Amalek and we're doing like a little debrief. And then he says something to me about big tech writing a song about me. And he made it some off the cuff remark like, "Oh yeah, big tech." Like, no, what it is he was wondering if big tech was still kicking me out of these Twitter spaces that he was doing when he becomes co-host. The answer is yes, by the way. He is still kicking me out of the Twitter spaces. Big tech does not want me to be in the good Twitter spaces. He's being kind of a dick about it. And I hope that'll change. I really do. I hope it'll change because it's unnecessary and it's ridiculous and he should just let me be in the Twitter spaces. But so Amalek was asking me about that. He's like, "Has big tech let up yet?" I'm like, "Yeah, no, probably not." And then he made mention of like, "Oh yeah, he's probably going to write another song about you or something." And I was like, "Another song? Did he write a fucking song? Like, I have no idea what you're talking about." And Amalek's like, "Oh shit, you didn't see it." And then I was like, "No, I didn't see it, and don't show it to me either." And then it ensued an argument between me and Amalek because I was like, "Don't you dare show me that song. I don't want to see it." And then he's like, "No, you have to see it because you look really emo, Karlyn, and that's a really good thing because it was endearing. He made you look actually endearing in what he did." And I was like, "Well, that's pretty great." I mean, if I actually do look endearing in that video because he made me extra emo or something, then I can't actually really complain about that. That seemed to be the impression that Amalek had. And so I was all ready to kind of put this to bed. I was like, okay, Amalek seems fine with it. He's telling me it's okay. I don't want to watch this video anyway because I don't like watching when people do this stuff to me. It's annoying. No, we're not watching the fucking video. No, we're not. He made me watch it last night and it was so rude and I turned down the sound and I don't even know what the song said. I don't even know. I don't need to take in that. I don't need to do that. No, we're not. You can go watch it on your own and how about you guys go watch it on your own and you report back and you're going to tell me what you think anyway. So why not? Anyway, so Amalek has dropped this bomb on me that big tech wrote a fucking song about me or something. And I was like, oh no. Here we go. And then I went over to his Kick channel. I was like, is that asshole streaming that fucking song? Sure enough, he was watching me talk about beer first. Sure enough, he's offline now. Oh good. He was he like so when I went to find where this part of his stream started, he was still streaming from last night. And I was like, what the fuck? And I was hoping that he would stream snipe it, but no, he's in his feelings. Let's see what they had to say in the chat. Let's see what they had to say. whatever. It honestly doesn't really matter. So the point is this. So I went to his channel and he was streaming about me. And I was like, oh man, like, what's this going to be about? And he was complaining about me drinking beer because, guys, breaking news. Do you guys know I drink beer? Do you guys know that I have been into craft beer for years and years and years and years and years? Do you guys know that I was into craft beer before they relaxed all the brewery laws that made breweries ubiquitous in New England? Because I was into craft beer when you actually had to work to find it and you had to find the special stores that no one knew about and all that stuff while I was still living in Vermont. I've been into craft beer for so long. I do happy hour streams literally every single Friday. I may have passed out drunk a couple weeks ago on one of them, but I had like 6 beers that day. It really wasn't my fault. Do you guys know that I talk about beer at least once a week on this channel because it's something that makes me happy? And I believe that God created beer because God loves us and he wants us to be happy. So Big Tech was going on and on and on about how I was an alcoholic and all this stuff and blah, blah, blah. So I decided to send in, and he's all pleased with himself there. There's my website. I don't really know what he's saying. I didn't really go back and listen. But what I did do is that me? Is that me? No. I did send him in a super chat at some point, and you're going to see it. Maybe. Oh, are we already past it? Anyway, this is where he's admonishing me. Never mind. We missed my super chat. So my super chat, basically, I basically what happened. No, hang on. Basically what happened is I sent him in a super chat just to basically tell him that I was in the chat and to rib him a little bit because it was kind of funny. Let's see if we can bring it up. Try again. Try again. Hang on. Why don't we just play it? Anyway, so I sent him in a super chat and I was like hanging out in the chat and he was like going at me and he was insulting me and he was being so mean to me and he is really upset about the apology form. And I DM'd Amalek and I was like, oh shit, he is really fucking upset about that apology form. He's been streaming about me forever, yelling at me about that apology form. And Amalek was like, oh shit. So yeah, thanks Amalek. Thanks, bro. Thanks. All your fault. Okay, there's my super chat. Hang on. Pause. My super chat said, as long as you stop kicking me out of these spaces, I don't care how many songs you write about me to work out your feelings. He really didn't like that either. And so then ensued basically a couple hours where he was talking to me on stream and kind of berating me and being mean and trying to get me to, be upset and yell at him and all that stuff. And I was responding to him in the chat. And I just have some things I want to say about this because, like, I didn't really get a chance to have my say, obviously. Even Adam, I even DM'd Adam as all this was going on because I thought this was the most hysterical thing that's happened in a while. I was dying laughing during this. I was not upset about him. I'm not going to yell at him. I thought this was so funny. And so I DM'd Adam like partway through it. I'm like, dude, this is so fucking funny. I'm on the floor. I'm dying. Adam DMs me back. He's like, you should get him to bring you on. Well, I suggested that in the chat to Big Tech. Big Tech didn't like that idea and he said Adam was being a dick, but I think Adam was right. The thing is, I think Adam was right. Adam usually is right. And we just should have talked it out. And that's kind of how it probably should have been handled if we weren't creating drama on the internet. That's kind of how it should have been handled. But since it wasn't handled that way, I have things I want to say. All right. And, I went back and forth in my head and I said, should I even respond to this? You're not even upset about it, Karlyn. Do you even want to keep this going? And, I'm of two minds about it. I don't actually really care whether it keeps going or not. I don't actually really care either way. I guess my preference is I don't want to be fighting with someone on the internet. And that's really been kind of the point of this entire thing with him. I just don't want to be fighting with people anymore. I went through a big whole kind of like, you guys don't know that. Well, I think some of you know this. I did a whole bunch of outreach to people that I used to fight with just to try to smooth things over. I tried to level it out just across the board at the beginning of the year. There was a lot of stuff I wanted to do. I was getting back into my spiritual practice. I had different ideas for how I wanted this year to shape up. And in order for it to go the way I wanted it to go, I actually didn't want really to be fighting with people. And that includes him. I don't actually want to be fighting with him at all in any way. And so I had reached out to a whole bunch of people and pretty much everyone I've been pretty successful in smoothing things over with and not being in fights anymore, with the, of course, exception of the most toxic assholes on the internet, who I'm never going to reach out to people like Carrie Smith or Mike Harlow or any of those people, because it's just never going to happen. There's no point. They're completely toxic. I want them as far the fuck away from me as they can possibly be. But just generally speaking, most people I just don't care about. I also knew, quite frankly, that at some point this year, I was going to reach back out to Adam and start trying to communicate with Adam again. I just didn't know when it was going to happen, because I've talked about this, and he doesn't like this piece of information. But the fact is that the only reason I wasn't talking to Adam and supporting Adam's work publicly and doing all this stuff was because of the whole blow up with this one, because the two of them are friends. And I do think it's weird. I think it's weird. I think it puts Adam in a weird position if he feels like he has to pick between me and him, because I just don't like putting people in that situation. It's awkward for everyone. And so I was kind of like, okay, I'm just going to back off. It's not that I don't actually care about this, but I'm just going to back off, and he's going to do his thing anyway. And like, who really cares what I think at the end of the day? But at some point, I did actually want to start communicating with him again, because I do really like what he's doing. It's a nice break from what I do, but it's also, I feel like, tangentially related to what I do. And so I have been keeping up on it for a while. And I'm really excited that Adam and I are chatting again, and I've been on Adam's show and he's been on my show, and I'm supporting what he's doing. And I think it's awesome. I think it's so good. And I've really been enjoying these Twitter spaces. And that's the God's honest truth. I've been enjoying listening to these Twitter spaces that they're doing about the Christian question. I've even started to appreciate HT, even though I think HT is wrong about many, 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 many things, and he's a bit much. And he wears stupid shirts. I don't like his shirts, but like they're a little gay. That's okay. He probably hates my shirts and my hair and everything about me too. So that's fine. We can hate each other, and it's cool, because the Twitter spaces are still fun and I still like listening to him. I appreciate the way HT breaks stuff down and just makes it so simple. It's a gift that he has that, quite frankly, big tech could learn from, because big tech goes on the meandering path around the woods when he's trying to explain something, and HT is just like, no, let me just say it. Boom. It's a gift, you know? Anyway, so I was really hoping that at some point things could just level out with him. That was always the hope. And I've said this over and over and over and over and over again. So one of the things that he was complaining about last night, he's like, she emails me all the time. Well, no, I don't. First of all, no, I don't. No, I don't. No, that's not true. There have absolutely been times when I've sent him a DM on Discord over the last year. Let me tell you what those times were, essentially. It was, okay, let's start back in November, because his big thing with me is he's like, she wanted to have a conversation about the big blow up and I didn't want to have that conversation. Okay, fucking fine. Fine. I asked you if we could talk about it and actually be real about what happened. You said no, you didn't want to. I said fine. I wasn't going to force you to do it. And I never asked you to do it again. That was in November. In January, I messaged him just to again see, can we just level this out? Can we just be nice? And I said to him in January, we don't need to have that conversation you don't want to have. I said this flat out. I said, we don't need to. It's fine. I'm good. I don't think I messaged him again after that for a while, up until his birthday, which is in March, because he's a Pisces, and all I said was happy birthday. And quite frankly, hey, shout out to Reagan. It's Reagan's birthday too. When I know people's birthday, I actually do wish them a happy birthday. So this wasn't actually a big deal to me. I do this all the effing time. So Reagan, happy birthday. Reagan is awesome. We appreciate you, Reagan. See, I remember when people's birthdays are, because I'm into astrology and stuff like that. So that wasn't that big a deal. I DM'd him a documentary about Israel that I sent around to a bunch of people. He wasn't the only one I sent it to. I DM'd him a copy of the book I wrote, the dystopian book, but I, again, DM'd that to a bunch of people. I didn't actually expect him to respond to it, but I was just kind of curious if he would, and he didn't. And I bet I sent it around to a bunch of people. Some responded, some didn't. It's the way it goes. Now, what I will say is one of the points that he does have is I did engage with, well, this was bad of me. I felt bad about it, but I didn't feel that bad about it. So I definitely was getting a little annoyed at some point, because I was like, why the fuck isn't he just responding and acting like a normal human being? Like, why can't we just be normal? Why can't we just be normal? I'm not trying to get you to do, oh, I did. No, okay, there was another one. I also DM'd him about AI and wanting to talk to him about AI. And that was a funny fucking message. And he should have at least laughed at that. I'm just sorry. But I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, all of these things that he's claiming, like, I'm invading his privacy. I'm literally just trying to communicate with him like a normal fucking person and being like, can we just maybe pretend to be normal like every other person I talk to on the internet, and then maybe things can just level out. That was my thought process behind it, honestly. And so what he's mad at me about, though, is, okay, I did get a little annoyed because I am an Aries and I can be an instigator. And I was like, why isn't he just like engaging like a normal person? And so I may have said some things about his psychology and why he wasn't doing that maybe I shouldn't have said. And honestly, like, but some of the things, I don't actually take full responsibility for that, because some of those things I had no business knowing, and there was a reason that I knew them. And how I see those things is someone, perhaps unconsciously, threw energy and information at me, and I took it and I threw it right back at him. That's kind of how I view some of those things, because some of the things I knew when I did those psychoanalysis that he really doesn't like, I shouldn't have known those things. So I'm just saying, I don't know what was going on there, but fine, you don't like it, fine, whatever. And now we're at this point where he's all pissed off and worked up. He's pissed off over an apology form. He thinks that apology forms are literally violence. That's one of the things that he's upset about. I think you can see he gets to the apology form at some point in this. Let's see. We were talking for a while. Where is the apology form? Can't find the apology form. We were talking for fucking ever. Whatever. So he was really upset about the apology form, and he doesn't want me to make apology forms on the internet or something. And I guess, listen, I guess bottom line for this whole affair is, I don't want anything from you, bro. He seems to think I want something from him. He seems to think I have these expectations. I really don't want anything from you. I don't care. If you want to talk, talk. If you don't want to talk, then don't talk. If you want to be a dick on the internet, I guess be a dick on the internet. Maybe it would be better not to, though, is all I'm saying. And the fact of the matter is I'm enjoying chatting and interacting with Adam, and I'm enjoying chatting and interacting with Amalek, and I'm enjoying these Twitter spaces. And you're in all these things, and we should just be able to be chill, because there's no reason for any of this. There's no reason to do streams where you're just like hurling insults and having, emojis on your stream and stuff like that. I just don't get it. And I also will say this too, is that one of the things he's pissed off about is that, well, I guess there's a couple of things. So he's pissed off because I said I sent him quote unquote weird messages. And so he seems to think, I just want confirmation from people in the chat. He seems to think that I don't. Okay, so the premise of this is, I get into really interesting conversations with people sometimes on the internet when I just shoot random shit at them and just see how they respond. Sometimes they respond, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they're like, what the fuck? Sometimes they're like, oh, this is really cool. Let's talk about this, that, and the other. And I really enjoy finding those people on the internet that I can have those types of conversations with, because I think it just makes life interesting, and I think it just makes life better, and you just never know. And so he seems to think that he is like a unique snowflake in the way that I've sent him weird shit every once in a while just to see what he would do. But the fact is that I've done this with other content creators. And so he seemed to not believe me on this. And I just want confirmation in the chat, just for the record. Let me turn the chat on the screen so it can actually go on the screen. Who in the chat knows Siggy? Does anyone in the chat know Siggy? Anyone in the chat remember Siggy? I know Siggy hasn't been around in a while. Siggy's like not on the internet right now because he has personal stuff. But I just want to confirm for the record, sir, who in the chat knows Siggy? Does anyone remember him? Yeah. Chat remembers Siggy. Chat remembers Siggy. And so he asked me last night, he was like, well, who have you had these conversations with? Send me a link. And so I can't, because Siggy's old Twitter account got banned, and that was where all the shows were. But you can see in the chat that an awful lot of people in my audience remember Siggy. And one of the reasons they remember Siggy is because I did all sorts of crazy shows with Siggy where we were talking about stuff, but Siggy and I were also having just really interesting conversations behind the scenes too. Siggy's an artist. We had to talk about creative things, and it was really inspiring to me, and it was really awesome. And it was so awesome, in fact, that I ended up going on a road trip with Siggy where I promise you we had many interesting conversations when we were driving from Sacramento to Nevada City, where we hung out and drank and ran around and did cool music things, and then to Las Vegas, where we ran around and went to the punk rock museum and stuff like that, and then into the Grand Canyon, and then across New Mexico, all the way to Dallas, Texas. I promise you, we had interesting conversations the whole way, and he's a content creator on the internet. And it wasn't weird because sometimes that's just what happens when human beings, become friends and stuff. And so Big Tech last night was like, oh, what happened with the Siggy character? Did he ghost you? And I was like, nah, he didn't ghost me. I mean, I actually just texted with him last week. But like the whole thing with Siggy is like, and why I bring this up is Siggy is another fucking Pisces. He's not actually a Pisces. He's a Virgo with other Pisces in his chart, but he acts very Pisces. And I swear to God, the two of them, in some respects, act so similar. Siggy was driving me crazy for many similar reasons as Big Tech. Not that he was giving me the silent treatment, but just because he was like kind of like all over the place and being very unreliable. And I love and I adore him. And I say that with love. I'm not trying to shit talk him. I'm really not. But it's just like these fucking Pisces men. I just thought it was ironic that Big Tech was like, you don't have any other people like this on the internet. What are you talking about? And I'm like, yeah, actually I did, because I went on an entire road trip with him, asshole. So what was the other thing I wanted to say? The other thing I wanted to say is, I guess, like, again, in my ideal world, listen, I know I can be a little bit of a handful sometimes in terms of like, getting under your skin and using psychology. But I just want to say, I feel like I haven't been given enough credit for the fact that I have literally never insulted him for being bald. I've literally never brought up things that happened with his wife. I've never gone onto the website that won't be named and gone through all the threads about him to try to dig up dirt to watch stuff on the internet. I've never watched the videos that people have made about him on the internet, because God knows that's happened too. I'm not the only one that's ever made videos about him on the internet. I haven't done any of that shit. And excuse me, sorry. And I feel like I don't get credit for that. And I feel like, he got all pissed off last night because he was like, you keep saying that you have these DMs you can release, and you're threatening me, and you're saying if I don't do what you want, then you'll release them. No, I'm actually not saying that at all. If I wanted to release the DMs that I absolutely do have, that he absolutely knows about, I would have just released them, bro. I would have just released them. There's a reason I haven't released them. It's not because I'm trying to hold them over your head. I don't want to ever release them because I don't believe in doing that shit. So, I don't know. If he wants to keep fighting, we can keep fighting. If he wants to keep bickering, we can keep bickering, I guess. I would prefer not to. And I don't have any ulterior motive, and I don't want anything, and I'm not trying to put a spell on you, and I'm not trying to get you to do anything, and I'm not trying to control you. And, he's going to say like, oh, I don't like her tone, or I don't believe it. Like, he made me apologize several times in the chat, and I'm more than happy to apologize. I'm sorry if I did things that pissed you off, but I don't think, like, I really am sorry if I made you mad or I hurt your feelings or something like that. I actually really am. I don't want to make you mad. I don't want to hurt your feelings. But I also don't think that anything I've done has actually been that crazy. I think there are people on the internet that have done a lot worse to him. I think I've actually been pretty reined in and controlled. I think there are a lot of things that I could have said. I think there were a lot of things that I could have done that I never did. And I kept trying to reach out to him to give him different chances to just level things out and to be a normal person, because I knew at some point I wanted to basically choose Adam over the Groyper stuff. I knew I was going to do that at some point. He can think all he wants that it was an accident that I retweeted the Christianity tweet. It wasn't at all. This wasn't even the first time the Groypers attacked me for something like that. This happened a couple months ago where I retweeted Adam's book cover where he's got Jesus with the nose, and the Groypers didn't like that either, and they attacked me over that too. But I was always trying to do this, and what I was trying to do was to basically like just level shit out with him just so it could all be cool. and maybe we can all be cool, and maybe we can just talk about interesting subjects and banter on the internet, or not. If you don't want to talk, that's fine too. But if I'm going to be kind of like around your social circles, it's just weird when you're like looking at me and going, it's weird. It's weird. And it's unnecessary. And that's just kind of how I feel about it. And if he wants to keep doing whatever he's doing, I don't really care. And if he wants to keep talking about me on the internet, I don't really care. And if he wants to keep making songs about me, I don't really care. I have a lot of shit going on. I have a lot of stuff I want to do. I also do want to be able to participate in Adam's stuff because I just enjoy it on a personal level. And he's going to do what he's going to do, and I have no control. And I'm sure everything I've ever said is wrong and all this stuff, and I'm a horrible person. But now I've apologized 19 ways from Sunday, and it's still going on. And so if you want me to apologize again, you got to tell me what you want me to apologize for. If you want me to do it with a specific tone that isn't going to be offensive, then you have to tell me that too. I don't know what else I can do. I don't fucking know what else I can do. I don't know of any more, like, how I could be any more chill in this situation. I'm not mad at you. I'm not going to cry. I'm not going to do any of those things. I just want it to be level. That's all I want. I don't want drama. I don't want bullshit. If you want to do this bantering back and forth, I mean, I guess, but like, can we just like level it out? That's all I want. So that's all I really want to say about that. That was much longer than I wanted to talk about that anyway. So yeah, thank you for the song. I appreciate it. I'm going to be drinking beer tomorrow for my happy hour stream. If you don't like beer, you don't have to watch. And really, it's kind of simple. So, okay, let's just go into amaze.org videos now. That's all I wanted to say. Much more than I probably should have said. Whatever. Did everyone enjoy that little drama-filled moment? All right, let's start off, and I want to start off with this penguin video. And this is going to be the updated version of the penguin song. Stop. Uh-oh. Do I have the sound set up? Okay. Updated penguin song. Go.
Ariana and Renee, they both are born girls. They go into their changing rooms. Ariana loves twirl. That's not for Renee. Pink will not do. All girls don't wear dresses. They wear pants too. As Renee lost her mind, what's running through her head? Ariana can fix this. No is what she said. When you put it on, you do a little groove. You know you gotta move. That's how you know you got it right. This is me, who I am. See me in full color. See like no other. Originality. No matter how you're born, we each have a style. I'll show you in a while exactly what I like. Bryce and Jason, they both are born boys. They go into their changing rooms. Bryce jumps out with joy. Jason has a different idea. The sweater is where it's at. Bryce has to fix this. Here, try this or that. Wait just 1 second. Don't tell him how to dress. Ariana knows this. Only Jason can express. This is me, who I am. See me in full color. See like no other. Originality. No matter how you're born, we each have a style. I'll tell you in a while exactly what I like. Donna and Charles, one girl and one boy. They go into their changing rooms. Charles is feeling coy. Others are thrilled with the look, but Charles is quite unhappy. Let's try this again. Yeah, this is snappy. Some are confused. They just don't understand. Charles now Charlotte is certain. Ariana's her biggest fan. Some might keep their distance, but others will come around. Come on over, Dala. Show us what you found. Dala has something on, but is not quite convinced. She wants to try again, yet she still gives a wince. Nope, not right either. Why can't she decide? Sometimes it takes time, only she can find her stride. Dala presents an outfit. The new name is Darren. Now everything feels right. The person within he's sharing. When you put it on, you do a little groove. You know you gotta move. That's how you know you got it right. This is me, who I am. See me in full color. See like no other. Originality. Here we have Skylar, born a boy or girl. Not interested in the girl look. Won't give the boy look a whirl. Skylar wants a new path, and it isn't one of those. This is a unique look from Skylar's head to toe. When you put it on, you do a little groove. You know you gotta move. That's how you know you got it right. This is me, who I am. See me in full color, see like no other. Originality, who I am. See me in full color, see like no other. Originality.
All right. Well, oh, wait, hang on. There's another half of this? What? Excuse me, what? A new Penguin song?
Ariana and her friends are all together again.
What?
She is happy when her phone buzzes. She remembers her post. Takes a look at the screen. She's surprised how mean the comment is. One after another, cruel comments keep coming. Her confidence is crumbling with the weight. She starts to compare herself to all her friends, admiring the trends that they take. She decides she needs an update. They're saying this, they're saying that. They're trying to see
What?
how I'll react. But if I like that all the way, be myself, truly free, then it's really
Oh,
not
no.
that hard to be me. With her magic wand, she sets out to improve, making negatives move to the pluses. With
I
each and every
know.
fix she sets off to make, there are only mistakes her heart crushes. She's very determined to silence all the critics. She sets off to mimic what's online. She tries and tries, it doesn't seem to matter, and she just shatters every time.
That's cyberbullying.
As she obsesses, she's missing life with her friends, who in the end just want her back. Renee can't take another moment of the circus, and her purpose, get back on track. She snatches the wand, holds it up to gain power. The hero of the hour, she has a plan. Ariana returns to herself as her friends rejoice. If given a choice, they will go back to where they began. Ariana and her friends are all hanging out. She's always there for them, that's what she's all about. They're saying this, they're saying that. They're trying to see how I'll react. If I like that all the way, be myself, truly free. It's really not that hard to be me. It's really not that hard to be. It's really not that hard to be truly, truly free. It's really not that hard to be you.
Is that it? Wow. We got 2 songs for the price of 1. Okay. Let's go back. Let's see. What other one should we watch? And as a reminder, guys, these are real videos that are shown in real schools. This is not a drill. This is not a parody. This is not a satire. We are actually watching real videos that are shown in middle school sex ed classes, elementary school sex ed classes too. Let's see. 2 Moms But How. Let's get that one up. Oh, let's get 6 Ways Not to Get Pregnant up. Let's definitely do that one. I definitely want to watch that pre-cum one. That's My Friend's Pronouns Change. Let's do that one. Decoding Dudes, Debunking Masculinity. Oh, we're definitely watching that one. Sexual Decision Making. Definitely watching that one. What is pre-cum? Excellent. Money and Gender. Yes, let's watch that one. What is intersex? Yep, watching that one. All right, that's good enough to start. That's a good enough that is a good enough start. Let's just let me get the sound up. We can just go through them one by one. We're going to start off with My Friend Has 2 Moms. How is that possible?
Who's fixing stuff in your house? Are you a lesbian too?
What kind of kids are in Maya's school? The no manners is wild to me. Come on, guys. Hey guys, it's Nicole here, Amaze's peer ambassador. And today we're answering questions asked by viewers like you. So today I'm answering this one by Tiffany, aka Tiffany XCX24. Oh, like Charlie XCX, baby? Okay, love that for you.
Crap.
Let's pull it up. Okay, she said, today was the first day of summer camp and I met this really cool girl named Charlotte. We had a lot in common, but when we started talking about our families...
Hang on. Joseph, you're joking, but they're probably... Actually, let me look. Let me just search their page really quickly. Anal. You're joking, but when I search for anal on their page, talking to your partner about sexually transmitted infections, what are STDs, HIV, how to protect yourself. So I'm betting that these birth control. There is a video that mentions anal called Birth Control, the Final Frontier. What? No, it can't be saying that. It cannot be saying that. It cannot be saying that. Why is a video called Birth Control, the Final Frontier coming up when I search for the term anal? Okay, we're watching it. Hang on. We're watching it right now.
Hey, you. Yeah, you. Is there something I can help you with?
No.
What was
Not
that?
at all.
I
Not in
didn't
any way.
catch it. I'm sorry. You'll have to speak up. Oh, you're curious about birth control. It's okay. You don't have to be embarrassed. Wondering about sex and contraception is perfectly natural. If you're curious about sex, there are important things that you should know. Come on, this is the door you're looking for. Welcome aboard. The first thing to know is that while sex is a natural and wonderful part of life, it's not something that you need to rush into. When you are ready for sex, it is important that it happens after two people agree that they are ready to engage in sexual activity. There are a lot of things that can happen, and there can be good feelings, but if one partner has a uterus and the other makes sperm, there's a risk of pregnancy. And of course, if any two people have sex and one already has...
Did you hear what that just said? Listen.
Things that can happen, and there can be good feelings, but if one partner has a uterus and the other makes sperm...
If one person has a uterus and the other person makes sperm. So women are now people with uteruses, and men are now people who make sperm. Okay.
There's a risk of pregnancy. And of course, if any two people have sex and one already has a sexually transmitted disease, the other could get it too. It's okay, you don't have to be scared. When you are ready, and if both people consent to having sex, you can use protection. So what should you be aware of before engaging in sex? Sexually transmitted diseases can be spread through sex if one partner has one and the other does not. There are no good STDs, and some of them can be quite dangerous. While some of them can be cured, others need to be managed for life. There's also the risk of pregnancy. The best option is to protect yourself. But how do you do that? There are many different ways to protect yourself and your partner from STDs and pregnancy during sex. Condoms work by covering the penis and blocking sperm from getting to the egg or ovum when two people have penile to vaginal sex. Condoms are also an excellent barrier against STDs. You probably know about the pill that provides protection against pregnancy if you take it every day at the same time. But did you know that there are methods of birth control that last from 3 months up to 10 years? For example, Depo-Provera, also known as the shot, is a long-term method of contraception. A person with a uterus gets a shot in the arm or the buttocks from a doctor or family planning clinic like Planned Parenthood. Depo-Provera stops a woman from ovulating and also makes it harder for sperm to get into the uterus. You just get a new shot every 12 to 13 weeks, and it's 99% effective. IUDs, or intrauterine devices, are also interesting. You can get an IUD from your doctor or family planning clinic. If a person decides to get one, the doctor places the IUD inside the uterus. The IUD can stay there for many years and only needs to be checked every so often. The IUD stops sperm from getting to the egg and is very effective at preventing pregnancy. It can be removed easily if there are any complications or if the person wants to have a baby when the time is right. Finally, there's the implant. This is a teeny tiny rod about the size of a matchstick that is inserted right under the skin on the upper arm, where it is completely invisible. While it's there, it releases a hormone called progestin that keeps the ovaries from releasing an egg and helps block sperm from getting to the eggs in the first place. The implant can be kept in for up to 3 years and is also very effective against pregnancy. You can get any of these from your doctor or a family planning clinic such as Planned Parenthood, and they are all very effective long-term options for preventing unwanted pregnancy. However, on their own, they don't protect against STDs. So how do we handle that? We combine condoms with one of those methods of contraception for the safest protection. Of course, you can always choose to wait until you are older to have sex if that's what feels right to you.
You could do that, yeah, you could.
Abstinence is when you choose not to have oral, vaginal, or anal sex, and it's the only 100% effective means of avoiding pregnancy and STDs. Remember, it's all about what feels right to you. If you are going to engage in sexual activity, be sure to be safe. Long-term birth control and sexual activity in general are big decisions. It's always best to talk to an adult that cares about you. If you need to, you can also talk to a healthcare provider, a counselor, or someone at a family planning clinic in your community like Planned Parenthood. So how do you feel now? Have all your questions been answered? Excellent.
All right, that wasn't nearly as entertaining as I thought it would be. Sadly, they did not mention anal sex as a method of birth control. You know, I hoped they would. All right, back to the two moms video.
She told me she had 2.
This is 11 minutes long. We're not watching all that. I need something shorter. Hang on. We already watched the pregnancy one. Let's watch this one. My friend's pronouns changed.
Hey guys, it's Nicole here, Amaze's peer ambassador. And sorry, 1 second. Okay, let me just fill you in. So one of my friends, Sasha, is coming over for dinner tonight, and they recently transitioned, so they go by different pronouns than what they used growing up. I'll be honest, it took some time for me to get the hang of it at first, since I was so used to their old name. Like, I would slip and I'd say she when I meant they, and I just felt really embarrassed. But you know, Sasha was a really awesome friend and just was really patient with me about it because they knew it was new for me too, you know? So anyway, their pronouns are second nature for me now, but I'm kind of nervous about my family. Like, my grandpa, the convo around pronouns was way different when he was my age. And tonight, I just really want to make sure Sasha feels comfortable around everybody, you know? So I was looking around if Amaze had a video for that. Okay. This one looks like someone is talking to their family, so maybe that'll be helpful. It's called Range of Gender Identities. Okay, let's see.
All right, folks, here we go. A romaine and kale salad with avocado, cucumber, shishito peppers, and 4 kinds of cheese.
Sorry, guys. I'm gonna have to eat fast. Alex is stopping by in a few minutes to work on our robotics project.
Alex? Is that the girl with that weird dog? Or the boy with the hat with the wings that flap?
No, Uncle Jay. This is Alex.
Oh, okay.
My non-binary friend.
A very nice young... Come to think of it, well, is Alex a boy or a girl?
A non-binary.
OMG. I definitely see my grandpa asking that too. I don't know, like, should I get mad or tell him that that's offensive? I've never talked to my grandpa like that before, so...
It's offensive to ask if someone's a boy or girl?
Come to think of it, well, is Alex a boy or a girl?
OMG. I definitely see my grandpa asking that too. I don't know, like, should I get mad or tell him that that's offensive? I've never talked to my grandpa like that before, so... Okay, I'm just gonna see what she does.
Actually, Alex doesn't define themselves as boy or girl.
What else is there?
Back in your day, most people understood the world in terms of just boys and girls. But now, we know gender is more complex than that.
Wait, aren't we just talking about whether you're born with a or a
Yes, we are, Grandpa. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
He did not just say that. Wow, okay.
When you're born, your sex is assigned in a medical way, but the sex listed on your birth certificate may not necessarily match your gender identity.
Okay, I have thoughts so far. You can tell it's new for the grandpa in the video, but he's staying pretty open-minded while his granddaughter is explaining, you know? Like, he's just asking questions and he's not really judging. I mean, my grandpa's always been really kind, so I should not assume that he's going to suddenly be mean about this, right? He might just have questions too. Heck, like, even I had questions when Sasha told me, so it sounds like the best way to approach this is to just calmly answer and assume everyone has the best intentions.
Does gender identity have to do with being straight or gay?
Actually, no. Gender identity has to do with the way you feel about yourself, while sexual orientation is based on the way you feel toward others, the people you may or may not be attracted to.
You know, I really like Alex, and I can tell they're a good friend to you. But I'm still pretty confused about all of this.
That's okay. You don't have to fully understand someone to respect them.
Okay, it seems like the grandpa won't treat Alex any differently just because their new identity is confusing for him. Also, I'm glad that the family isn't getting frustrated with him for asking all of these questions, you know?
That's right, Mom. Oh, Alex is here. Come on in.
Hey, everyone.
Oh, hey, Alex. Care for some salad? The balsamic's right from Italy, you know?
Wait, okay. I feel like that video actually gave me a lot of good language to use when Sasha comes over. Like, I'm thinking back to when Sasha first explained their transition to our friend group, and they were really patient and really understanding that this was new for all of us. And they were really open to any questions that we had about it too. So, like in the video, the granddaughter kept it really cool and she didn't get upset, even though her grandpa was confused. I gotta keep that in mind. I mean, I can't control what exactly is gonna happen tonight, but I know everyone in my family really loves Sasha. And that's a great start.
It is so, it's so bizarre.
Speaking of, they're here. Okay, well, wish me luck. Talk to you guys later.
It's okay. So first of all, this is a bizarre new thing that Amaze is doing where they're having like, they're doing new videos of fictional people reacting to the old videos to show how the old videos really help them or something like that. But isn't it bizarre? Isn't it a bizarrely stressful thing to put kids through or even teenagers through to say, I have to stress out about whether my grandpa can remember the pronouns of my non-binary best friend? It's just like, it's a weird thing. How we as a society have even gotten to this place is you want to know why I have crazy conversations with people on the internet? Because are any of the conversations I'm having with people on the internet crazier than this shit? And this is real life. So really, what's holding us back from having any crazy conversation we want to on the internet? Because it's like, why shouldn't we? Like, this is being taught in schools right now. I'll take my crazy, weird conversations over this any day of the week. Anyway, this is my... No, new video. Hang on. Decoding Dudes. Debunking Masculinity.
Guys, roll in this year's play. Okay, look. Hi, I'm a guy. Yeah, I like to watch other guys run after a ball. I like motorcycles.
Real.
And I like hardware tools. Yeah.
Yeah, debunking Frank McCormick.
You don't know much about men, do you? In our society, people often have certain ideas about how girls and boys should act.
Oh no. Oh no.
Boys might be taught that they should be tough and show power through physical strength, be competitive, to focus on sex, not show their feelings or talk about their emotions, and to be aggressive. We see these ideas in things like ads, video games, movies, TV shows, cultural beliefs, and even messages from family members. Even social media apps have clever ways to show boys things that fit these not-so-great ideas about being a boy. The tricky part is that these ideas can stick with guys as they grow up and might affect how they act and think when they're older. This might make it hard for boys to make smart choices about sex and relationships. This pressure about how boys should act can sometimes lead to not having a good understanding of consent or boundaries towards others. When boys understand that the message they receive about being a boy might not be accurate and realize that being masculine can mean different things to different people, they can feel more comfortable being themselves.
Don't forget to visit me at amaze.org or go to my YouTube channel to watch more. Bye.
Wow. Okay. Men shouldn't be masculine. Next video, sexual decision making.
Study for tomorrow's big test or go to the super cool pool party.
Find some more
Tough
videos.
one. Study for the test. Okay, best 2 out of 3.
People decide to have sex for a variety of reasons. Sometimes it's based on their emotions, and it's a way to show love and affection. Sometimes it's based on their physical feelings and meant mostly for pleasure. Other times, people decide to have sex to have a baby. Before engaging in sex, you must ask and get consent from your partner. Also, be sure to talk to your partner about birth control methods and testing for sexually transmitted infections. It's also a good idea to talk about your thoughts, feelings, and expectations about sex. Whenever you choose to engage in sex, it should be an enjoyable, positive choice for both you and your partner. A person's decision to engage in sex is theirs and theirs alone, and you should never feel forced or pressured. The right time to have sex is different for everyone. If you're still unsure about making the decision, talk to a trusted adult about when is the right time to engage in sex.
Don't forget to visit me at amaze.org or
No.
go to my YouTube channel.
Some of these videos aren't that bad, honestly. We have next. Pause. Oh, hang on. Okay, we're about to watch the pre-cum video. Everyone get ready. Words I have a PhD. You guys know I have a PhD. I have a PhD. We're about to watch a video called What is Pre-cum? You're welcome.
What is pre-cum? Ask Amaze. Pre-cum, or pre-ejaculate, is the liquid that sometimes appears at the tip of the penis before ejaculation. This can happen at any time during sexual arousal. Pre-cum isn't the same thing as semen. Pre-cum is produced in the Cooper's glands and is made up of enzymes and mucus. It's important to know that pre-cum may contain sperm cells, even though it's a very low amount compared to semen. So, it is possible to get pregnant from pre-cum.
Good advice.
Always remember, before getting intimate with someone, it's crucial to use protection, like condoms, to avoid both pregnancy and STIs.
All right. Thanks, Amaze. That was really educational. Okay. Money and gender norms. Oh, hang on. It lost the sound. You guys can't hear it. Hang on. 1 second.
It's an essential part of life, and learning how to manage it will help you make important decisions about your future. Money is a tool that helps people trade talents and services for the things they want and need.
Capitalism.
But did you know that gender norms can play a role in how you see, use, and access money? These norms are societal expectations about how a person should behave based on their gender. For girls and women in many parts of the world, opportunities and services related to having or managing money and accessing financial services are limited due to gender norms. For example, unpaid caregiving and domestic work, like taking care of family members or doing chores, can be considered women's work, while paid...
Do you guys know what this is? What did that just sound like? Do you guys know what this is? This is a video about social reproduction theory. For people who don't know, the left believes that capitalism created the gender binary, which put men in the workplace where they had access to all the power and all the money. They put women in the home doing the unpaid labor of raising the next generation of workers in the nuclear family, which are the children, of course. And this is called this is why they want to abolish the nuclear family, because they believe that the nuclear family requires women to do the unpaid labor of childbearing and child rearing, all to feed the capitalist system in something that's called social reproduction theory, which means social systems will reproduce themselves until they are disrupted. The nuclear family will reproduce capitalist norms by feeding the capitalist system until it's disrupted. That's why they want to abolish the family. This is a video about social reproduction theory. Wow.
Norms are societal expectations about how a person should behave based on their gender. For girls and women in many parts of the world, opportunities and services.
And one of the ways that they try to abolish the nuclear family is they want to abolish gender norms. They want to abolish gender entirely. But when they're talking about gender norms, what they're doing is they're talking about abolishing the gender binary or the hierarchy, which is the patriarchy. And how they disrupt that is to say, listen, gender is a spectrum. Gender is fluid. Just you don't have to do these things because you're a girl. You don't have to do these things because you're a boy. Boys can do girl things. Girls can do boy things. And well, that's all very well and true. Girls can do boy things and boys can do girl things. Then they go the next step to say, you know what, we need to get rid of gender entirely because gender is the thing that's oppressing women within the nuclear family, where they are doing the unpaid labor of having and raising the next generation of workers.
Related to having or managing money and accessing financial services are limited due to gender norms. For example, unpaid caregiving and domestic work, like taking care of family members or doing chores, can be considered women's work, while paid employment and managing finances are seen as men's work. These norms can impact a person's choices and opportunities, including how long they stay in school, when they get married, and how they save and manage money. However, it's important to remember that taking care of family members and doing chores don't have to be gender-specific tasks. Everyone can participate in these activities, regardless of their gender, just like anyone can aspire to get a paid job and manage their own finances. Sometimes you may experience pressure to act or behave a certain way based on your gender. Understanding how gender norms impact daily life can help you find ways to go about making your own choices and doing what feels right for you. Knowing how to prioritize needs over wants, setting saving goals, and creating a budget can help you make decisions about money and plan for the future you want, regardless of your gender or background. Before working, young people should review what is allowed by law in their country and make sure that the job does not affect their education. Ask a family member or trusted adult about their first paid job, how their gender might have impacted their decision, and what tips they might have about work and earning money. So even if you're not earning your own money yet, it's important to start thinking about finances now. It is never too early to start planning for the future and imagining what you'd like that future to be.
All right. Social reproduction theory video. All right. What is intersex?
What is intersex? Ask Amaze! Intersex is a term for peoples whose bodies are different from those typically labeled male or female at birth. Some people may have external genitalia that is different from their internal organs. So someone may have ovaries internally, but have testicles externally. Others may have different chromosomes, such as XXY instead of just XY, male, or XX, female. When intersex babies are born, doctors usually assign them a legal sex, either male or female. However, this doesn't necessarily determine their gender identity as they grow up. In the past, surgeries were common to make intersex babies' genitals fit into either typical male or female identities. Hormones were also given to fit into these assigned identities through puberty. But now, many people believe that intersex people should decide if they want to have these surgeries and interventions later in life. If you want more information to have these surgeries
A cucumber and tomatoes or a donut. Yeah, okay.
And interventions later in life. If you want more information, check out organizations like Interact at interactadvocates.org.
Got it. Amaze videos have gotten, like, were Amaze videos always this short? I feel like they've gotten shorter. Hang on, what's our next video? I went and got a couple more. Why would someone wear a chest binder?
Why would someone wear a chest binder? Ask Amaze! Chest binding is when a person uses constructive materials like compression shirts or a sports bra to flatten or conceal breast tissue. For transgender men and non-binary individuals, binding their chest may be a way to help create a flatter-looking chest and help their body appear more like the gender they are. If a person is thinking about wearing a chest binder, they should know chest binding can be dangerous to a person's health if done incorrectly. If someone wants to bind their chest, it is best to research the safest way to do so before trying it.
That's it?
Find out more right here on Amaze.
Okay, I'm sorry. Amaze is just getting lazy. They used to do videos that were like several minutes long that would actually explain stuff. Let's see. I've got a couple more pulled up, but we're going to have to go back into the archive, I guess. All right. What is pleasure?
Tiramisu, my love. Every moment with you is filling me with a sensation of joy. You are a desire coming true.
Pleasure is a feeling of happiness, satisfaction, or enjoyment. Often, people describe pleasure as something that feels good in their body, mind, heart, and soul. People find pleasure in many ways. Some people find it in movement, through dance, sports, yoga, or in the smell, touch, and taste of food. Many people also find pleasure in romantic and sexual relationships. Pleasure in relationships can come in many different forms, like a partner listening to your wants and needs,
eating a pizza,
communicating openly and honestly, and sharing intimate feelings. Pleasure in relationships can also come from intimate touch, such as holding hands and kissing. And when both partners are ready and have expressed consent, pleasure can come from sex. And for some, masturbation can feel pleasurable. Some people masturbate, and others do not. Either way is normal. Sometimes when people engage in sexual behaviors with others or alone, they have an orgasm, sometimes called climaxing or coming. An orgasm can happen at the peak of pleasure moment during sexual activity. For many people, an orgasm can be felt throughout their body, and their genitals may feel warm or tingling.
Yeah, their genitals may
and
feel
a person
warm
might
and tingling.
ejaculate. Some people have orgasms, and some don't. But people often feel pleasure during sex, even when they don't have an orgasm. What's important to remember when engaging in sexual behaviors with others is that no one should pressure another to participate in sexual behavior that they are not comfortable with. If someone pressures you to do something that doesn't bring you pleasure, it's okay to say no. As a person gets older, they begin to understand, through their experiences and connecting with others, what brings them pleasure and what does not. Experiencing pleasure can come in many different forms and is a joyful part of being human.
Don't forget to visit me at amaze.org or go.
That was the best video yet. They had snails fucking in that video. That was the best video yet. Yeah, you get that tingly feeling during Socialism Saturday. Yeah. Yeah. So Amaze makes videos for elementary and middle schoolers. So this is targeted to people basically 13 and under. I'm not joking. Like, do you guys want to watch it again? Let's watch it again. That was like the best video so far. That was great. I didn't expect it to be that good.
Tiramisu, my love. Every moment with you is filling me with a sensation of joy. You are a desire coming true.
Pleasure is a feeling of happiness, satisfaction, or enjoyment. Often, people describe pleasure as something that feels good in their body, mind, heart, and soul. People find pleasure in many ways. Some people find it in movement, through dance, sports, yoga, or in the smell, touch, and taste of food. Many people also find pleasure in romantic and sexual relationships. Pleasure in relationships can come in many different forms, like a partner listening to your wants and needs, communicating openly and honestly, and sharing intimate feelings. Pleasure in relationships can also come from intimate touch, such as holding hands and kissing. And when both partners are ready and have expressed consent, pleasure can come from sex. And for some, masturbation can feel pleasurable. Some people masturbate, and others do not. Either way is normal. Sometimes when people engage in sexual behaviors with others or alone, they have an orgasm, sometimes called climaxing or coming. An orgasm can happen at the peak of pleasure moment during sexual activity. For many people, an orgasm can be felt throughout their body, and their genitals may feel warm or tingly. And a person might ejaculate. Some people have orgasms, and some don't. But people often feel pleasure during sex, even when they don't have an orgasm. What's important to remember when engaging in sexual behaviors with others is that no one should pressure another to participate in sexual behavior that they are not comfortable with. If someone pressures you to do something that doesn't bring you pleasure, it's okay to say no. As a person gets older, they begin to understand, through their experiences and connecting with others, what brings them pleasure and what does not. Experiencing pleasure can come in many different forms and is a joyful part of being human.
Wow.
Don't forget to visit me at Amaze.
All right, amaze.org. Just when I thought amaze.org had let us down, they came back. They came back with a vengeance. No pun intended. That's a classic. Like an amaze.org classic. Moving on, and then we're going to have to find some new videos to watch because we're out of videos, actually. What is cisgender?
What is cisgender? Ask Amaze. When you're born, a medical provider looks at your genitals and assigns you a sex. If you have a penis, you will be assigned male, a boy. And if you have a vulva and vagina, you will be assigned female, a girl. Cisgender people feel that their gender identity aligns with their sex assigned at birth. For example, if a person assigned female and girl at birth continues to feel like a girl and identifies as a girl as an adult,
wow,
then she is cisgender. The way someone expresses their gender can change. But if they continue to identify as the same gender they were assigned at birth, then they are cisgender. The important thing to remember is that no matter if a person is transgender, cisgender, gender non-binary, gender non-conforming, or another gender, everyone deserves love and respect.
All right. Let's go back to the homepage of amaze.org and let's see if we can find some more stuff to watch. We'll watch a couple more. Guys, as a reminder, I do actually have a webinar tonight. And now, you know, you might say, Karlyn, this isn't the most impressive stream you've ever done. And I would agree with that. This is not the most impressive stream I've ever done. But I promise you at 8 p.m. tonight, we're going to have a much more educational experience. We're going to be doing an anti-communist introduction to the far left. If you want to sign up for that, you can still sign up for that for free. If you want to make a donation, you can. There's an option to do so. But if you don't want to, you don't have to. If you're looking for the link, I just put it in the chat on YouTube. You can also find it on the homepage of my Substack right now, which is Karlyn, KARLYN.substack.com. You can find the link there and sign up for it. If you're not available at 8 p.m. tonight for the live show, sign up anyway because you'll get an email that will have a video for you at the end of it, and I will be putting it up on demand. The whole purpose of doing this re-education, anti-communist introduction to the far left is to give people a really simple, quick introduction to my work. I'm going to be explaining things like capitalism, what capitalism means. I'm going to be talking about why whiteness means capitalism. I'm going to be talking about how capitalism created gender and how capitalism is reproduced through the nuclear family. We're going to go over the big three things that people need to understand about how capitalism is a cultural model rather than just a social model. And we're going to do it in about 90 minutes, and I'm going to answer your questions, and that's all we're going to cover. And there's a lot more to cover about the far left, but if you can understand the concepts of here is the definition of capitalism, here is why whiteness means capitalism, here is why they believe capitalism created gender, and here is why they believe that capitalism is reproduced through the nuclear family, you will understand so much more about the far left than most people who have spent a lifetime watching Fox News or the IDW bullshit or any of those people. I promise you, most people who are doing commentary on the left do not actually understand the basic things I'm going to explain to you in this presentation. That's going to be at 8 p.m. tonight, so you can sign up for it for free. Got about an hour and a half left for that. We're going to watch a couple more videos, and then I'm going to take a break before the main show tonight. But definitely join me for that. And again, you can pass the video along to your friends, family, anyone that wants to learn about this stuff. I will be posting it on demand after the fact. And I appreciate everyone that has signed up so far. It's going to be a great show, I think. Okay, let's go back to this. We are looking at sex ed videos that are taught to elementary and middle school students. Let's see. What is self-care? Let's do that one. Why do I smell down there? Let's definitely do that one. Condom negotiation. No, we're not going to do that one. Let's see. Sexual orientation and gender identity. What's the difference? What is asexuality? We've seen some of these now. What causes a red bump down there? Let's watch that. How to talk to an adult about sex. Oh, what is circumcision? Someone was asking about circumcision earlier. Let's start with the circumcision video. Someone was asking me how the left feels about circumcision. Well, guess what? They have a video about circumcision. Isn't that convenient? All right. Hang on. Pause. Here is what is circumcision. Wait, you don't have the sound yet for some reason. Nope, that's not the right button. There it is. Oh, good Lord. Oh, hang on. I'm getting a weird error on my computer. Take 2. There we go.
What is circumcision? Ask a maze. You may have seen in a locker room or in an online video or maybe in some French movie your parents made you watch that some penises look different than others. The penis has some loose skin covering its tip called the foreskin. Soon after birth, either due to religious, cultural, or sometimes health reasons,
you may have noticed that some penises look different than other penises. I need to listen to that again. I'm sorry. I know we just started the video, but that was funny.
What is circumcision? Ask a maze. You may have seen in a locker room or in an online video or maybe in some French movie your parents made you watch that some penises look different than others. The penis has some loose skin covering its tip called the foreskin. Soon after birth, either due to religious, cultural, or sometimes health reasons, some parents choose to have that foreskin removed during a procedure called circumcision.
That's so
Circumcision
awful.
changes the appearance of the penis. If a penis is not circumcised, then the foreskin covers the head of the penis when it's flaccid or soft. On a circumcised penis, the tip of the penis is visible even when the penis is not erect. But when erect, the foreskin on the uncircumcised penis pulls back as if the penis fills with blood and gets longer. At that point, circumcised and uncircumcised penises look pretty much the same. And don't worry, from urination to ejaculation, both a circumcised and uncircumcised penis will still work the same way.
All right.
Find out more.
So it looks like they are not pro or anti-circumcision. So now you know. Now you know. Let me see. What do I want to watch next? Let's see. Why do I smell down there? Let's do this.
Why do I smell down there? Ask a maze. Sometimes people notice a scent from their genitals. Often, these smells have to do with your normal body scent or your hygiene, how you clean your penis or vulva. Make sure to wash your penis or vulva with mild soap and water every day. And especially after you exercise, when it's hot, or any other time you have been sweating. If your penis is uncircumcised, remember to pull back the foreskin and clean the tip when you wash. If you have a vulva, make sure you are only using soap on the outside of your body, your labia. Do not use soap or douches inside your vagina. It is common to have discharge from a vagina and sometimes even a penis, even if you wash daily. However, if the discharge has a strong odor, you should see a doctor to make sure there isn't any medical issue.
Hey, pro tip.
Find out more right here on Amaze.
All right, well, I hope you all learned something from that experience. Next, we're going to do sexual orientation and gender identity. What's the difference? Oh, shit, you guys can't hear it. You guys can't hear it because StreamYard hates me. It does. StreamYard hates me every single time it doesn't do what I want it to do. All right, we fixed it.
From gender identity? Ask a maze. Sexual orientation is different from gender identity. Sexual orientation refers to the gender or genders a person is romantically and or sexually attracted to. Some people know their sexual orientation by the time they go through puberty. For others, their sexual orientation may not become clear to them until they are older. Some common sexual orientations include heterosexual, lesbian, gay, bisexual, pansexual, asexual, and queer. A person's gender identity is their internal sense of their own gender or who they are. A person's gender identity often matches how they look on the outside, but not always. There are many people who understand their gender identity as early as around 2 or 4 years old. For others, it may not be until they are older. Some common gender identities include cisgender, transgender, genderqueer, and gender nonconforming.
All right.
Find out more right here on...
That video sucked, Amaze. Okay. What is asexuality?
Like chocolate. How is that possible?
Yep, I just don't see what all the fuss is about.
Let's just put chocolate aside. What about chocolate ice cream?
Nope.
Chocolate cake? Chocolate mousse? Chocolate syrup? I know! A huge bunny-shaped chocolate.
No.
Asexuality, sometimes called ACE, is a sexual orientation in which a person generally does not experience sexual desire but does feel romantic attraction for others. It's an inherent aspect of who a person is, similar to someone who is heterosexual, gay, or lesbian. People who identify as asexual find their attractions might exist on a spectrum, but can't change how they feel, and there is nothing wrong with them. Asexuality is also not the same thing as abstinence, which is a decision to not have sex for any number of reasons. Asexual people may still choose to be in relationships, even with people who are not asexual. They don't automatically hate sex. They just don't have a drive to be sexual in the ways most people do. So remember, human sexuality is a beautiful, varied, colorful spectrum. We should avoid making assumptions, ask questions, and treat everyone with respect and love.
Till next time, don't forget to visit me at amaze.org or go to my YouTube channel to...
Another lackluster video. I'm just really... Oh. Okay, Reagan just sent one in. What is a wet dream?
Over here. Hey, how's it going? I'm a dream. I take on a lot of forms, but trust me, we've met before. There are all sorts of dreams. Flying dreams, dreams where you're a famous pop singer, dreams where you're trying to run, but you can't get anywhere. You know that one, right? I don't want to brag, but we're basically a dream team. And now that you're hitting puberty, you might meet a new kind of dream. A wet dream.
Really?
No, not that kind of wet dream. Get out of here, Ollie. Sometimes a scary dream can get your heart racing. But a wet dream affects other body parts. If you have a penis, you might ejaculate semen. It's called a nocturnal emission. In other words, whitish fluid might come from your penis during the night. And if you have a vulva, your vagina might get wet and lubricated, which means slippery. A wet dream might be about something of a sexual nature. Or you might not even remember what you dreamed about, except that it felt good. Not everyone has wet dreams, but a lot of people do. They may happen often or just sometimes. It's all totally normal. You might wake up wondering what the heck happened. Relax, you didn't pee your bed, it's only semen. Just bundle up your sheets and toss those underwear in the laundry. Remember,
semen,
you can't control your dreams. I do what I want. So, you definitely should not feel guilty or embarrassed about having a wet dream. Wet dreams are a natural part of development and a normal part of growing up. So dream on, kid. And now, I pass the floor to my good friend, Daydream. Take it away, Dee Dee. The daytime is all yours.
That was a great choice, Reagan. That was excellent. That was really good. Okay, we've got a couple more videos. Let's watch, we're going to watch 3 more videos. The first one we're going to watch is called What Causes a Red Bump Down There?
I see a red bump down there. Does that mean I have an STD? Ask a maze. A red bump on the skin around the genitals could be a sign of a sexually transmitted infection. If you've never had sex with another person, then it's probably not an STD.
Yeah, probably not.
It could be something as simple as an ingrown hair. Since pubic hair is generally curly, the hair might not grow out of the skin and can get infected, causing a painful red bump almost like a pimple. Especially if it's in an area where pubic hair has been removed by shaving, plucking, or waxing. If you leave it alone, it usually clears up on its own. But if it's happening frequently, it's a good idea to get it checked out by a healthcare provider.
Good idea. Oh, that's it. That's it. See you again.
Find out more about sex.
These videos suck now. Okay. How to talk to an adult about sex. Play.
Okay, my little Janie, I got everything ready for our talk. Now, let's see what we have here. It's female hygiene stuff.
Oh, no. Dad.
Interesting.
Dad, we don't need to do this.
Your mother can handle that one. Here's a good one. Talking with your kid about sex. That's a great book. My dad taught it to me, and it was fantastic.
Dad, look,
Let's see what else. And a banana. Huh.
Dad.
Why did your mother put a banana here?
Dad, stop. I just wanted some help with my math
Trendlin, if there's one you want me to play, just put the link in the chat.
test tomorrow.
Talking about sex or relationships with your parents can be super awkward and nerve-wracking. You might be worried about their reaction, but the reality is your parents can be really good resources. They've been through it before themselves, and they love you and want you to be safe and happy. Having at least one adult that you trust that you can talk to about things that are happening or how you're feeling can be really, really helpful. Some people find that a parent, grandparent, older sibling, or aunt can be very helpful. Others find it uncomfortable talking about feelings and asking personal questions with a relative. So if this is the case, a teacher, coach, older sibling, or parent of a friend may be someone you can talk to and help you safely navigate adolescence. But some adults aren't very good listeners. Sometimes they like to talk and tell young people how to feel and what to think. Sometimes adults don't believe young people when they say they're depressed, angry, or even in love. But there are adults who will listen. It's really important for you to find an adult who respects you enough to listen to what you have to say. Someone who can remember what it's like to be young and can help you without judging you or trying to always tell you what to do. There's lots of different topics you could ask your parents about. Wondering if your body is normal, or how to figure out if you're ready to have sex and how sex actually works, how birth control works, or what to do if you think you have a sexually transmitted disease.
Learning about our changing bodies can kind of be, kind of exciting. There's so much about our gender, sexuality, reproductive organs, and relationships to learn about. Some of this stuff you can discover on your own with friends, but some of it you'll want to learn with a parent or a grown-up you trust
No,
too.
you really don't.
I know
though.
it can feel like an invasion of privacy
Yes.
and that it's embarrassing. It can be a really hard thing to talk about with the grown-ups in our lives. A lot of times it probably seems easier to just avoid these conversations, doesn't it?
Wait, what the fuck did that say? Hang on. What did that say?
Lives.
Oh, I'm 10 and I haven't started my period yet. Am I pregnant? I thought it said something about being 10 years old and having sex, and I was like, what the fuck? There was a furry? I didn't see the furry.
A lot of times it probably seems easier to just avoid these conversations, doesn't it? Why ask a grown-up a question if you can just Google it, right?
Yeah,
But that can be dangerous. The internet is full of misinformation. Just because someone on a forum sounds like they know what they're talking about doesn't mean they actually do.
Real.
Picking a good spot, somewhere you're both facing forward, helps. Don't feel the pressure to learn everything in one sitting. There are a lot of books you can read to get a head start on your conversation. You won't learn everything in a day. I'm still learning, and I'm the narrator. If you're not sure what to say or how to start, try asking a specific question like,
if I use a tampon, do I really lose my virginity like my friend said?
Yes.
My friend said that you can't get pregnant when you're on your period. Is that true?
You shouldn't be having sex on your
What
period.
is
Stop.
Planned Parenthood?
Wait, our butts are the biggest muscle in our body? What? I'm curious.
Let's stay on topic. Speaking of which, there are lots of different subjects to explore. While you should definitely speak to an adult about it, you can always start here at amaze.org. It's never too early to start learning about your body. And you should never be embarrassed to learn more when you're older, too. Thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to check out our other videos as well. And remember, you're amazing.
Well, Reagan and Trendlin sent me different videos, so let's watch the video that Trendlin sent me. Period hygiene, tampons, pads, and menstrual cups. Oh, wait. Sound went out again. StreamYard hates me again. StreamYard hates me like big tech hates me, like everyone. Like, well, not everyone. That's pretty much it. StreamYard hates me, big tech hates me. Yeah, whatever.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe it! Oh, what should I do? What should I do? Oh, it's soaking wet.
Pads, tampons, and cups are useful products for those who have their periods.
For those
Each
who have
product
their
is used
periods.
to absorb menstrual fluid. A menstrual pad is used by placing the pad on the inside of a person's underwear, where it can absorb the menstrual fluid as it leaves the vagina. Pads come in a variety of sizes, and each pad should only be used once. It is recommended that a menstrual pad be changed at least every 3 to 4 hours. After a person is done using a pad, they should wrap it in toilet paper and dispose of it in a trash can. Pads should not be flushed down the toilet. Menstrual cups are for internal use and are inserted inside of the vagina. There are directions inside the box that will explain how to insert a menstrual cup. Cups do not come with an applicator. A person will need to be comfortable touching their vagina in order to effectively insert and remove it. Cups must be changed and cleaned every 12 hours and are reusable for up to a year. Tampons are for internal use and are inserted inside of the vagina. They absorb menstrual fluid as it is being released before it leaves the
That's
vagina.
exactly how I want to think of it.
Each
Yeah, like a
tampon should
pipe.
be used
Yeah,
only once and must
exactly.
be changed every 4 to 6 hours or sooner if it is full. Some tampons come with applicators and some do not. Pick the one you feel most comfortable trying. Tampons also come in different sizes. If it is your first time trying a tampon, try the slim or thin tampons. The box may say for a light menstrual flow. Now you are ready for your menstrual cycle.
No, great.
Tampons. Why didn't I think about
I feel fully prepared now. Reagan wanted to watch Menstruation Sensation, all about getting your period. Is this going to be a song? Please let it be a song. Please let it be a song. I really want a song. Please. Oh, God. Please let this be a song. Please. Please.
I got my period. Oh. And I don't know what to do, and my stomach hurts.
It's gonna be a song. It is a song. It's a fucking song!
So let me give you the rundown. Basically, between the ages of 10 to 15, you get your period. It prepares your body so that one day, if you want to, you can have a baby.
But I don't want to have a baby.
Oh,
Relax.
me
You're not gonna
real.
have a baby now. You're just going through puberty. So once a month, blood comes out of your vagina for 3 to 7 days.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, basically, your uterus creates a thick lining of blood every month so that if you become pregnant, the embryo has a cushiony place to grow called the endometrium. And if there's no pregnancy, it empties the lining out of your vagina and the cycle starts all over again.
So I won't die of blood loss or anything?
Oh, no. It's actually not a lot. To soak up the blood, you wear pads, tampons, or even menstrual cups and change them every 4 to 6 hours. But yeah, that's what happens, kid. Menstruation, sensation, this information. I hope it doesn't really shock you, cause it can make you feel blue. You're still you, just kinda smelly, kinda sweaty, kinda hungry, but it's okay. It's all good, it's all good, my dude. When you have cramps, hormones kick in, your body takes you for a spin.
Yeah,
You
real.
could feel achy at your core, your head, crotch, back, and legs could feel sore. Feeling cranky or quiet or tired or hungry. Your hormones are okay, no need to feel bad.
So what do I do when it hurts?
You could do yoga, relax your brain. That's one way for you to get rid of your pain. You could draw a hot bath, and if that doesn't help, you could ask your parents for meds from the shelf.
I guess. I don't know. Sometimes I don't really want to grow up.
Hey, it's alright, dude. I've got your back. You're still you. Menstruation, sensation, this information. I hope it doesn't really shock you, but it's okay, it's something new, and you're still you.
Lighter? You need a lighter?
Just remember to hydrate yourself and get plenty of rest because you're still growing. And you can talk to me whenever you need to. Thanks. I got your back, girl. And change your pads because they freaking smell. No one told me this. Just change them, man. They really smell. Yeah.
Wow.
I got carried away.
Okay. That was a great find, Reagan. That was a great find. All right, for our last video today, there is no other video that we can watch to end the stream of I don't even know what this stream was, really. I don't even know what this stream was. I mean, it's like I you know, things were said, we watched videos. I don't even know what the stream was. Yeah, we have to end the stream with the one, the only, the boner song. There is no other way to end the stream. And so I don't know how many of you have seen the boner song, but prepare to have this song stuck in your head for the next week. You're welcome.
I need to see what my life is about as Martin Flounder figures it out. Sure feels funny to know I'm not alone, right on the money. He stands up on his own. Since I was little, he's always been my friend, but now my middle could beat me around the bend. Oh no, 'cause that's how the boner grows. That's how the boner grows. Tell me I'm not alone. Out in the sand we make impressions where we're at might come in handy. If you need to change a flag. Oh, my crazy compass is way out of control when my equator grows another pole. Oh, that's how the boulder grows. That's how the boulder grows. It's not really about. They say it's normal. Each guy gets his own, so we erected all these monuments in stone. In stone. That's how the boulder grows. 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 So I'm never alone.
All right. That's it. It's over. It's done. There are no more Amaze videos to watch. We have done a catch up on Amaze. We have just spent the last hour and a half watching videos from amaze.org, which amaze.org actually does make these videos, and they target these videos are shown in elementary and middle schools all over the country. This is a real thing. And you know, we can laugh at them and we can maybe cry at them sometimes, and we can get their song stuck in our head for the rest of the week. But this is actually real. And so, you know, if you feel uncomfortable with some of the things that were in these videos, which, you know, I think most of them were pretty okay, but some of them are a little woke and socialist and all that, you can do with this information what you will. I'm not going to tell anyone what to do. What I'm going to do is I'm going to go take a break. And I'm going to put the finishing touches on my presentation that I'm doing at 8 p.m. tonight. We are having a live class called An Anti-Communist Introduction to the Far Left. If you're new to my work covering the far left, this is going to be a great crash course for you. It's going to be about 90 minutes long. It is going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight. If you are not available at 8 p.m. Eastern Time tonight, that's totally fine. Just sign up anyway. It's free. You can make a donation if you want to, but it is actually just free to sign up. And you will be sent a video once the class is finished. It takes a couple hours to process. I will be making the class available on demand for new people that just want a really brief introduction to the left. We're going to be talking about the left's definition of capitalism. We're going to be talking about why whiteness means capitalism, why capitalism created gender, and why the nuclear family is the method of reproduction of capitalism, and why they're doing attacks on parental rights and all that sort of stuff. You're going to see lots of clips from lots of leftist trainings. Should be about 90 minutes. You're going to be able to ask whatever questions you have, and I will answer all questions. And then we will put the video up on demand, and I will never have to do an introduction to the far left again. Dare to dream. Really. Dare to dream. But you can sign up over on the website. I did put the link in the chats, and if you can't find the link for whatever reason, head over to the Substack. That is Karlyn, Karlyn.com. Just click on my face right in the middle of the homepage, and you will find the link to the sign up page. Anyway, that's it. That's episode 420. That's all I have. It's been a very long day. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night. And yeah, Big Tech should unblock me on Twitter, and he should stop, you know, he should just unblock me on Twitter, and it should just be done. That's really what should happen. I started the stream with him. I'm gonna end the stream with him, and I'm just not gonna talk about this anymore because I don't actually care. Just unblock me on Twitter. And I don't even care about talking to him on Twitter. I just don't want to keep getting kicked out of these Twitter spaces. It's not cool and it's not fair. And HT is already being censored for spaces anyway. And we shouldn't be getting in each other's ways, and we shouldn't be causing problems, and we shouldn't be kicking people out of spaces because we don't want to be around them because we're upset about an apology form, because apology forms are not violence, okay? Apology forms are not violence. It's just a joke. It's just a troll. Calm the fuck down. Internet relationships are not real relationships. I've literally been saying I'm in a relationship with a socialist for like almost 3 years. She doesn't get upset. The socialist doesn't get upset when I talk about our internet relationship. You know who gets upset? Big Tech, when he gets issued an internet apology form for giving me the silent treatment because we weren't in a relationship. Well, we were in an internet relationship. An internet relationship is not a real relationship by very definition. It's a joke. It is a joke and a troll, and you need to get over it and unblock me, please. Thank you. All right, that's all I have to say. I'm gonna go take a break. I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.
How are you feeling? How long have you been here? 3 months, May 17th. And what brought you? That's difficult to answer. Eventually resulted in your being here in the hospital. That's difficult to answer.